Welcome back, everyone. My name is Chet. This is Chet Chat. I saw 4 movies, and let's just get right into them and talk about how pretty good they are, actually. Well, the first movie I wasn't really that interested in, but you gotta see everything, was actually Tarzan. Kind of blew my mind. I guess because of that disinterest in the movie, I had very little expectation. I always found the idea of Tarzan kind of boring because I'm a sci-fi person, and Tarzan is the epitome of no sci-fi. Because of that, went into the movie with a clear mind, and I was extremely pleasantly surprised about how well the movie played out for me. First of all, I like the setting and the time where it takes place, where I thought this movie would be a Tarzan origin story, where it actually turns out to be taking place in a world where Tarzan is already established. And people know of Tarzan. They know who he is and what he's done and where he is now. I don't want to get too much more into the story and what is going on in the story, because I feel like it's interesting enough that if I say something, it'll spoil it and you'll not enjoy the movie. But other than the story, it's just the directing. The choices of cast members that they picked were really well done. Like, I think his name's Christoph Waltz. He was amazing as usual. I love him all the time. Ever since I saw him in Inglourious Bastards, he was always great in every movie after that. And a surprising cast member, even though he's in the trailer, Samuel Jackson, who I thought was just going to be there for a little while, he actually is really involved in the story. And his involvement in the story helps the whole movie with allowing the audience to relate to that character. And it works out really well. There's a lot of comedic moments and a lot of cool stuff happens. So yeah, all in all, just with all those little things there, I would say Tarzan is great. Good cast, good acting, very good story. It's simple, but it's a lot of fun. Keeps you motivated. Although there's like one little part of the story where I'm like, who cares? I don't think it matters, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Maybe, But yeah, definitely go check out Tarzan. Especially if you like Tarzan. It's not an origin story. Sadly, this next movie is the black sheep of the bunch, in the sense that it was so lame. That movie is Our Kind of Traitor. I'm sorry. Sometimes you want to see these movies that aren't wide release, just in case you're missing out on something that other people don't get to see. And then you watch it, and it is the most generic, wrong place at the wrong time movie that you can see. If this is your first one of these, it might be an alright movie. But as someone who's seen many of these wrong place at the wrong time movies, it is as generic as they come. The characters are so lame. The main characters are not likable at all. One of the guys who's in, I think he's in, Thor and Avengers, the doctor guy, I forget his name. He's like one of the main characters in the show, and he's alright, but that's about it. And the story is just nonsense. It's so boring, so uninteresting. And the flow of the story is just like blocky. Like, they don't know what they're doing. They're just like writing the story as they're going, I guess. A good movie to compare this to, what it could have been, would be, I think it's called Escape, with Owen Wilson and Pierce Brosnan. That movie was amazingly good, man. Like, I love that movie a lot. And that was a wrong place at the wrong time movie. But it was done very well. And it just had you tense the whole time. Whereas this movie, Our Kind of Traitor, doesn't do anything for you. You're just sitting there waiting for the movie to stop. And then it just goes on its own. I actually don't recommend watching this. I didn't like it at all. The other movie I saw, I guess I have like just morbid curiosity about where it's going, was Purge Election Day. I've seen all the Purge movies. I found the concept interesting, where America has these new founding fathers who allow people to commit any crime they want for one night for, I think, about 12 hours. And pretty much, there's been 3 movies. This is the third one, Purge Election Day, or Election Year. And the first movie shows you this rich family who has proper security measures to protect themselves from purgers. That's what they're called. And you see how their walls get taken down and stuff, and that happens. And then the second movie shows people on the street during the Purge. Because the first movie was in the house, second movie is outside. And now the third movie is about this person, this senator, who wants to run for presidency and end the Purge altogether. So the founding fathers don't like it, and they decide to use the Purge to their benefit. And they write a new rule for the Purge, where no one is safe from the Purge. You can kill senators, you can kill presidents, you can do whatever you want. They put a hit out on the senator. So I actually kind of like this movie. It's interesting. Like, the way how they flesh out the world of the Purge, like, by showing you how it is just America that does this. They show, like, immigrants coming into America who are just there for the Purge night and they want to kill and steal and do whatever they want. But that's one thing I don't like about these Purge movies, is that every time they show somebody purging, it's always murder. They say you're allowed to do any crime you want. I mean, like, is anybody going to steal anything? Somebody going to do some graffiti or something? You could do whatever you want. But they just want to kill. I feel like the movie's, like, pessimistic in believing that everyone deep down inside is just a killer. So, yeah, other than those things, I would say that the acting ranges from pretty good to awful. There are characters in the movie that are just, like, so campy and cheesy. And then there are characters that are, like, you know, well-rounded, down-to-earth characters. And then there are just characters who are just, you know, generic of that person. AKA generic black guy. He knows who he is. But in my theater, at least, that generic black guy made everybody laugh really hard. A lot. I kind of felt uncomfortable when people just kept laughing at him saying Negro. But yeah, other than those things, the acting and the story, which is pretty linear, I felt like it was an enjoyable movie altogether. I don't know if there'll ever be a part 4, because you kind of see what's going on in the ending. I would like to see more of it get fleshed out and see what other countries think of the Purge and see if other countries want to adopt it. But it shows that they didn't, but you never know. They have a lot of things they can do with the Purge. So I definitely recommend watching the Purge, especially if you've seen the first two. This one is definitely better than the second one, so don't worry. Not going to be disappointed. And finally, the last movie I saw was the BFG, the Big Effing Gun. No, talking about the Big Friendly Giant, a movie based on a book, apparently, which I never heard of. Steven Spielberg reads it to his kids, so he wants to make a movie of it. So pretty much the BFG is... I don't want to say too much about the story. I think it's an alright movie. The BFG is made by the people who made E.T., which I also thought was just an alright movie. Sorry guys, I didn't like it that much. You know how you get that feeling from a children's show that has like adult elements to it? I don't feel like that feeling from the BFG. It feels like purely for children. And there are very childlike jokes. There's a point in the movie where they take an hour to build up this fart joke just to make people laugh at this one moment. And like, it's the longest build up. I'm like, really? You used all that time for this fart joke? But people laughed at it. I did not find it amusing. Especially for how long they took to build up that joke. But, yeah, that's what happened. Other than that, I think Steven Spielberg is still a great director. Because his cinematography and the motion capture that he used for the Big Friendly Giant, who was played by a guy from Bridge of Spies, who was also amazing in Bridge of Spies. I love Bridge of Spies. And you could just see how well the giant is animated, and it looks great. Especially when you see him interact with Sophie, the little adorable girl. It makes you feel like they are actually interacting. It's not a fake prop or green screen or something. It looks like it's really happening. So I'll give the graphics and the motion capture and the cinematography amazing credits because it was really well done. But other than that, the story is pretty simple. I don't know what the lesson or moral of the story is. The only thing I could take from it is that sometimes you need a third person to look in on your situation to realize that something is not right. So that's the only thing I could take from it. But other than that, it's an alright story. I think the most enjoyable thing from this whole weekend was Tarzan, so it definitely didn't beat out Tarzan. It's like level playing field with Purge, and definitely better than Our Kind of Traitor. So I'll recommend the BFG. Alright, so that about wraps it up. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want and like this video. And I will definitely get back to you guys with some more videos. We have a little special treat next week because we're going to EVO 2016 in Las Vegas. Definitely going to check that out. So, happy viewing and goodbye.